Well, thank you everyone for joining us here this afternoon. I hope you're all enjoying your Sunday. We've had rain on and off, so it doesn't feel like winter. Put it that way. You can see I'm in a linen shirt, and yeah, it's like amazing. This is what winter's like in North Queensland. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to get cracking now. So I just want to welcome the speakers that we have scheduled for today. Dr. Neil Goodman, he's a pediatrician based in the US, and then we also have Sue Watson. Sue is a qualified personal trainer, former bodybuilder and gym owner, and is also a mum and a grandmother. She'll be joining us. Then we also have Madeline Crowe, who is an occupational therapist and an epigenetics coach. And then finally, Tina Kirkham-Smith. So Tina and Madeline are both on the Sunshine Coast. Tina is a wellness facilitator and a spinal flow practitioner. So I'm Rhonda Muller, for those who don't know me. And again, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us. Welcome. I'm so glad you've been able to carve out some time for yourself here today to join us. This talk is for you if you feel burnt out, if you're exhausted, if you feel stuck or in survival mode. You want to help, help yourself feel better, whether it's, something relatively short term or over a long period of time. You're ready to understand and know how best to address the root cause, because most things are just a Band-Aid approach. We're looking at, well, what's underlying, especially for fatigue, weight gain, brain fog, any kind of mood issues. If you want a clear science-backed plan that you can actually start to implement, with the support for your health without overhauling your life. And if you're curious about how to thrive in a busy world that's often works against your body's innate need for rest, connection, and play. So this isn't just another, health info session. It's a full-on radical shift in how we think, how you see your body. And it's a powerful reminder that you're in charge of your destiny. So I'm a functional nutritional therapist. I'm based in Mackay in North Queensland, Australia. I'm an educator and a health detective at heart. I'm a mum of 4 adult children, grandmother, and someone who's walked this path both personally and professionally. So I've been educating people about health and nutrition for over 16 years and activation in particular for almost 7 years. But years ago, even with all my training, I completely burnt the candle at both ends. It got to the stage where my heart would start racing for no reason. My energy kept crashing. My hair was falling out. I could not get into my own clinic. I'd have to work from the comfort of my own bed. I'd have to get help from girlfriends to, pick up the kids to take them to school or even bring them home. Some days I'd get up and do the dishes and I just have to lay back down. I was absolutely spent. And I was trying absolutely everything. Nothing was working. And I'm fortunate to have functional doctors, naturopaths, herbalists, nutritionists as my personal friends, but we could not sustain everything that I was, the cellular health that I was really needed. And then in December 2018, I found activation, not a treatment, not a magic fix, but within days, in actual 3 days, that's not the same for everyone, but I felt like something had totally flipped. My nervous system had calmed. I started sleeping again, my energy back. I actually felt like I was back in my 20s. The brain fog had lifted and I just felt like, holy dooly, I am back. And it was the first time I really understood what real cellular health, cellular support felt like. Now, by that point, if you don't know my story, you can reach out and we can dig a bit deeper. But I had already walked a massive healing journey with my son. He was nonverbal, diagnosed level 3, severely autistic in May 2008. It was the whole reason I started to study. He was stimming, disconnected. It was hell on wheels. And we fought really hard for answers. And in May 2016, 8 years after his official diagnosis, it was reversed. He no longer fit the criteria. I did not find out about activation until December 2018. His diagnosis was removed 2.5 years earlier. But once I did, I could see how it totally complemented everything I'd been doing the hard way for many years. I'd been using food and supplementation to help with oxidative stress, inflammation, mitochondria, gut brain signaling, detoxification, but activation was way more effective and way faster. It changed the way I practiced forever, because this isn't about hype. It's not a sales pitch. It's all about helping the body to do what nature intended: protect, repair, and regulate. So it's why I do what I do. I've lived it. I help other families do the same. So if you're tired, you're sick and tired of going around in circles, you're feeling flat, foggy, inflamed, exhausted, well, you've come to the right place. Okay, so Dr. Ignace Semmelweis, he was a maternity doctor from the 1840s, and he was actually watching his nurses wash hands with soap, and he started to notice that all of their infections rates started to drop drastically. When he went back to his colleagues, to his other doctors, and told them what he had discovered, what he noted, they laughed at him, ridiculed him. He ended up dying a pauper because they were closed-minded. I ask you today, some of the things that you'll be hearing about will be really out there, foreign, something totally new. I just ask that you keep an open mind, because this could totally change your world like it did with my world. So we're going from hand washing to cellular activation. And the question most people are asking, is declining health and the way we look, feel, and function something we simply have to accept today? Well, no, I'm here to tell you not at all. This is the activation story. We are talking about the business of activation. And we're welcoming you to the front line of the next frontier, where we don't wait for the future of healthcare, we activate it. And a lot of people are noticing, right? What if the greatest untapped breakthrough in the human performance, health span, longevity was already coded within us? It just needs to be reawakened. It needs to be activated. Yeah. And a lot of people would agree the old model of healthcare is broken. This is not about treating symptoms. This is about activating dormant potential. It's not a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, right? We are looking at what's underlying and reawakening our body to work as nature intended. So I want to start with setting the scene about gut health. You've probably all heard all disease begins in the gut. Yeah. Our skin is our largest organ. The skin that you can see is about 1.5 to 2 square meters. When we think about the internal skin that you cannot see, just the digestive tract, it is about 2 to 3 tennis courts. That's around about 400 to 600 square meters. That's just the digestive tract. That's not our veins, our arteries, our organs, any of that. It's crucial for nutrient absorption, our hormones, our immune. It is the barrier against pathogens, and it helps to regulate your body temperature, detoxification, and more. So our gut health really depends on our environment. You've probably heard we are more bacteria than what we are human. Yes, and I totally agree with that. But it depends. The bacteria, for example, the beneficial bacteria versus the unfriendly bacteria, it really depends on your mother's bacteria, right? What it was like in the womb, what she was eating, any kind of medication, the birthing process. Were you a vaginal or a C-section? Were you breastfed? Were you formula? What was the stress? Was there a lot of chemicals around, medication? All of these things are going to alter your microbiome, the beneficial bacteria of the gut, but also throughout the whole body. The skin even has beneficial bacteria. So the diversity of the bacteria needs to be, you think about the Amazon jungle, the rainforest, all different species of, plants and animals and insects and all that kind of stuff. We're talking millions of different strains of species of bacteria. But unfortunately, most of us, instead of having that diverse range of the jungle, we have a concrete courtyard with a couple of pots and plants, cat, dog, and a bird. We need to get it back to the Amazon jungle, yeah? So when it's all balanced, excuse me, you can see here, this is the small intestine, the slide. It's showing everything's all balanced, homeostasis, everything's good. You can see it's keeping all the bacteria, undigested food, etc., all the things that should be keeping out, it's definitely being kept out. We have the mucosal layer, which is the yellow barrier. That's the collagen, yes? So are the tight junctions. It's collagen. The villi is also made up of collagen. That's where we're absorbing the nutrients from everything that we swallow. Then inside here, you can see the little teardrops. Well, they're free radical molecules. If you're breathing, you're metabolizing food, you're a mammal, you're creating free radical molecules. We cannot avoid that. But the beauty of our body when it's working as nature intended, we make our own antioxidant molecules to neutralize them, to keep them under control. And then this little oval here is our mitochondria. That is the battery for every single cell in your body, right? When things are inflamed, your bacteria, you've got more of the unfriendly bacteria than the good bacteria and a whole host of other things. You can see that collagen barrier, that mucosal barrier, is actually depleted. The tight junctions are depleted. This is what we call leaky gut. And then you can see the free radical molecules are running amok. We have way more because we don't have antioxidant molecules to neutralize them, to keep them under control. That then also damages the mitochondria. So it's a real vicious cycle. You're not going to heal the gut if you've got free radicals, which leads to oxidative stress, cellular rusting. If you've got bacteria, more of the unfriendly bacteria, and if you've got mitochondria that is leaky and dysfunctional, that's going to be creating even more free radicals. Yeah. So I want you to take note down the bottom here, when this is all inflamed, instead of having like a little pilot light, which only arcs up if you've got some kind of infection, and then when all the threat is under control, it comes back down to a little pilot light. If you've got a constant flamethrower because of this intestinal inflammation, then you can see here all the immune cells, the interleukins, are going to be running amok as well. This is real danger, right? We need to get all of this under control because you're not going to be absorbing as nature intended. Your, nutrients and everything from your food, you're going to be really depleted. But also, I want you to take note of the L cells. So this yellow cluster in the middle of the L cells here, this is what's responsible for making GLP-1. You may have heard of it. It's a natural hormone that helps control your blood sugar, appetite, inflammation. But when there's damage and inflammation, the L cells cannot work properly and your GLP-1 levels will drop. That means cravings, blood sugar spikes, even more gut damage. It's a real vicious cycle. And Madeline will go through all of this because, GLP-1 is way more than weight. We have GLP-1 receptor sites in our brain, in our heart, everywhere. So you can flip the switch. Your body is not broken. It just needs to be reawakened. It needs to be switched back on. Yeah. And what we're talking about today is showing you how you can reactivate it. We talked about, the things that go wrong: bacteria, inflammation, low GLP-1, free radicals, oxidative stress, mitochondria, low collagen, all these things. But you can help your body work again, flick it back on. And this is where LifeVantage comes in. LifeVantage is the activation company. This is what I was introduced to in December 2018. This company's been around since 2003. My son was born in 2005, diagnosed May 2008. I really wish I'd known about this back then. Seriously. Okay, so we do not wait for sickness. We flip the switch back on naturally at the root so the body starts working like it's meant to. Now, activation in media. What's fascinating is that these best-selling books, they're all speaking about the concept of activation, but they don't even know it. They're not using the exact word. They're diving into cellular signaling and energy pathways and, your metabolic health, your mitochondria, inflammation, all these things that LifeVantage have been activating naturally for over 20 years. Mainstream media and mainstream health just catching up now. Yeah, nothing like being ahead of the curve. So when you hear them talking about resetting metabolism or turning on longevity genes and healing from the inside out. What they're really describing is the process of activating the body's innate, internal, endogenous intelligence, repair, protect, and perform system, right? They're writing about LifeVantage, what LifeVantage has been doing since 2003. So it's just finally catching up and getting into mainstream. So we take it to make it. We empower our bodies to make antioxidant proteins, enzymes, hormones, the things we need for better health. And when you share, excuse me, when you share LifeVantage, you're also activating the opportunity and ability to support others. And this is where I was really passionate about, because if you're anything like me, when you find something that works, you shout it from the rooftops. And that's what us women do. We are healers, we're nurturers, and it takes a community, to raise a family. Excuse me. I was going to pass over here to Dr. Neil Goodman, excuse me. But unfortunately, the video interview, because he's over in the US, he's a pediatrician over in the US, and they're asleep now because it's like, I don't know, midnight or 2:00 in the morning over there. But unfortunately, we've had some technical issues and can't get the video working. So if you want to watch this video, please let us know and we'll flick it through. It only takes about 10 minutes. So I'm going to jump through and give you a bit of a rundown of what he would have said. Excuse me, if my voice holds out, Madeline, I might need to get you to slip in quickly if I start losing my voice. But so we're going to be talking about the activators. So predominantly just the 4 activators that we're talking about. So the Protandim NRF2, the Protandim NRF1, this is why I joined the company back in December 2018. These were the 2 products that got me going within 3 days. Amazing. Then we have the NRF2 liquid collagen activator and the Mind Body GLP-1. This is the GLP-1 activator. So this was brought to market in 2003, and this was in 2016, 2023, and 2025. Madeline, I might just get you to jump in real quick if you can, darling. I just need to have a drink.
No worries. So my name is Madeline. I'm an occupational therapist. I've been with the company since 2018. And I'm so excited to present this information to you. I started with the products, felt amazing benefits in my health, and it's because it's the activation company. So for me, as an occupational therapist, I've used a lot of supplements, never felt a thing. But with activation, it is so different because you are tapping into your body's own inborn intelligence, and so if you can have a look at that slide. So instead of taking antioxidants, we are making antioxidants through NRF2. Instead of helping to boost your mitochondria superficially, you are taking NRF2 to build more mitochondria, and the mitochondria that you do have, you amp those up so that they can be more effective. Instead of taking collagen, we have our collagen activator, and the same with the GLP-1. A lot of people are taking the injectables, lots of side effects with those. But with our GLP-1 activator, you can get your body to make its own GLP-1 again. So in regards to oxidative stress, if you have never heard of oxidative stress, you're not alone. When I started with the company, I've never heard of it. Oxidative stress is basically if you cut an apple in half and you leave it on the counter, it's going to turn brown. That exact same thing is happening in your cells. So actually, the very same thing that you need to live, oxygen, you breathing air, is also creating oxidative stress in all of your cells. Now, when you were born as a baby, you've got an inborn mechanism to get rid of the oxidative stress really effectively. Unfortunately, in your early 20s, that system starts to decline, and that's when aging starts. And you don't always feel the aches and the pains when you're in your early 20s, but that's where it starts. And then people experience all of these symptoms. They go to the doctor do the bloods. It all comes back normal, but you still don't feel optimized. our environment is also very toxic. So if you have a look at that slide, insecticides, pesticides, the EMF, phones, toxic products, everything that you put on your skin will be in your bloodstream within 30 seconds. All of those create a lot of additional oxidative stress. And if you are taking in antioxidants, antioxidants is needed to reduce the oxidative stress. So that was me before. I thought I'm really smart. I'm going to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and we do advocate that you eat healthily, but you will never be able to eat yourself out of this problem, because when you are taking in antioxidants from food sources, it works on a 1-to-1 ratio. At any given time, you've got trillions and trillions of free radicals in your body. So you would have to eat truckloads of blueberries to feel a significant difference, and you will have to do it the next day again. With NRF2 activation, you actually instruct your body to make its own, at the bottom of that slide, catalase, glutathione, and SOD. Those are master antioxidants, and one of those molecules of SOD can eliminate 1 million free radicals. So this method is literally 1 million times more effective. And this is our NRF2 activator. It's called Protandim. It was discovered in 2003, taken to the market, and according to US studies, it reduces your oxidative stress by 40% and 40% in 30 days and continues to do so thereafter. It increases your glutathione by 300% in 120 days. And this is extremely important for you to keep that oxidative stress down. You can go online and you can type in any kind of condition that you can think of and see if there's a relation to oxidative stress. Now, a lot of people come to us and they say, oh, I already take green tea or turmeric, bacopa, or ashwagandha, milk thistle. That's great. But the power is really in the synergy. If you combine all of these ingredients within this particular ratio, it is 18 times more effective. And this was not something that was discovered overnight. It was a 40-year experience testing more than 2,000 different blends to find the most effective NRF2 activator. Thank you, Rhonda. Now, this is one of our friends. He lives on the Sunshine Coast. His name is Joel. He's a third-generation naturopath. So you can imagine he ticked a lot of the boxes, did a lot of things right, did all the exercise, the supplementation. And when he started on the activators on the left-hand side, he took a screenshot of his blood analysis, and you can see all of those yellow portions in between. That is the oxidative stress. After only 30 days, you can barely see any oxidative stress. So to me, when I saw this, it was a massive light bulb moment, because it really shows that it works on a cellular level. This is another guy, Guy Lawrence. He is a CrossFit athlete. And on the left-hand side, again, you can see the shape of those blood cells are a little bit pointy, they clump together, and on the right hand side they are free flowing and really nice round shaped blood cells. This is another study that was done on the activators. They compared sulforaphane. Sulforaphane is an ingredient in broccoli sprouts, which is an NRF2 activator. They compared that to Protandim, but also to a synthetic NRF2 activator. This synthetic NRF2 activator is actually currently available on the market. It's available at the tiny cost of $50,000 per year for a subscription. They compared all of these, and what they found was that Protandim was 7 times more effective than sulforaphane. It was 3 times more effective than the synthetic NRF2 activator with 0 side effects. So it really shows you it's not about the ingredient that has the NRF2 potential. It is about the synergy of all the ingredients combined. That really helps your body to unlock that.
Thank you so much, Madeline. I really appreciate that. And I just want to jump in on this one as well, because I was actually using sulforaphane in clinic. I was using it for my son. And when I saw that Protandim NRF2 is 7 times more effective than sulforaphane, that's when I got peeved off. Why hadn't I heard about this before? Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming to my rescue. I've obviously been talking too much, losing my voice. This slide here is actually from a video clip, a different video clip from Dr. Neil Goodman. It's a 19-minute clip. If you want to watch that, reach out to the person who shared this or invited you here today. This actually shows our survival genes, over 400 different survival genes. And when the oxidative stress is really attacking, etc., our environment's overstimulating survival genes, understimulating, they're too low, too high. This is where it's really linked to hundreds and hundreds of diseases and conditions like Madeline touched on. And when you add in 1 bottle of Protandim NRF2, so for example, if I was starting now in my mid-50s, give it a minimum of 5 to 6 months, 1 bottle per decade, this is what happens. Everything comes back into balance. This is extraordinary. We cannot get the same results using food or supplementation. You can try it, blueberries or 375 oranges a day, 120 vitamin C's, 87 glasses of red wine, or over a kilo of dark chocolate a day. I like chocolate, but that's a little bit too much, seriously. Or you can just take 1 tablet a day. And I know what I'm doing and I know what's working. This is at the forefront of medicine. This is why we're shouting this from the rooftops, yeah? Okay, so mitochondria. So your mitochondria do actually become overwhelmed by oxidative stress, 100%, also by the environment. Now, this slide here is a bit deceiving. That's a mitochondria in the cell within the body. It looks like there's only 3 mitochondria per cell. But for example, our heart, right, has about 10,000 mitochondria per heart cell. Like Madeline was saying, we have trillions and trillions of cells. Our ovaries have about 100,000 mitochondria per ovary cell. Our eyes, our brain, all those things, 10,000 mitochondria per cell. Liver, muscle, about 200. So when we're thinking about ovaries, us women, we pass on our mitochondria to our babies. Our sons don't pass it on. So if our mitochondria is not working properly, it's dodgy, dysfunctional, it's going to create disease and conditions. It creates leaky gut. It creates more oxidative stress, the free radicals. So it's a real vicious cycle. So when I heard about Protandim NRF1, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in, because this is increasing your ability to support the mitochondria. This is responsible for the energy in the cells and vital for optimal health. Yeah. So it's just 2 capsules a day. The Protandim NRF2 is 1 tablet. The NRF1 is 2 capsules. And Dr. Neil Goodman, he uses this in clinic. He is a pediatrician and swears by these products. The before and afters, focus, concentration, it is just next level. Detoxification, muscle and joint discomfort, sleep, mood. It's just what I see in clinic is just, it blows me away. Tina, I'm going to pass over to you, darling. Do you want to just share a little bit about your story with everyone here today? Because yours is such a powerful journey just within itself.
Thanks, Rhonda. Yes, of course. So when you said before about our mums passing on, how their gut is, it makes total sense to me, because my parents had a sweet shop, an old-fashioned English sweet shop when I was growing up. I literally was in there every day in my pram, and and so I had a lifetime of sugar. And so when I got to the age of 48, my brain went completely to mush, and it was really scary. And, thankfully I had tools and I knew there was other ways. I was working in a health shop at the time, and we had a naturopath in there. So I then had the whole live and dry blood test done and had all the supplements, and got my brain back, thankfully. I think if you didn't know those tools, you'd be diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's or something. So it was a scary time. But I knew that I wasn't quite right. Even though I'd sorted the gut, I just still felt that things weren't quite right. So I kept asking, well, what's under that? What's up under supplements? I've done all of that. It took 13 months to get my gut healthy. But what's under that? What's under that? And eventually, of course, it came to me. It's our cells. So then I was looking for quite a few years, keep asking myself that question, looking for something that would work at that cellular level. And then eventually, of course, LifeVantage presented itself. And yeah, the rest is very exciting. So I thought I would share some fast experiences, some short-term experiences on the products, on the NRF1 and the NRF2, and also some long-term benefits of staying on them for the rest of our days. So for myself, it was 2.5 weeks on the dual synergizer, the NRF2 and the NRF1. And at 8 o'clock at night, I had the motivation to clean the mold off my windows. And that in itself was unheard of. I had no battery in the evening. My mum always used to say to me, if I went any slower, I'd go backwards because she'd be up painting rooms at midnight. Anyway, so the fact that I had that thought was incredible. And I then got up and I didn't just do that one window, I did the whole house, which just blew me away. And then after 4 months, I had bloods done because I have a thyroid. I'd had a thyroid issue for a lot of years. I actually had radioactive iodine years and years before. So after 4 months of having another blood test, I found that my nutrient absorption had improved so much that I could reduce my supplements by 50%. And that was incredible. So there was money saving right there, which was a bonus. And then my husband, he got on the products eventually. After a couple of years, finally persuaded him to get on them. And he again started on the dual synergizer. Unfortunately, 3 weeks later, he had a heart attack. So I thought it was too little, too late. But there's a bright side to the story because he had an incredible benefits within just 5 days because the NRF2 opened up his arteries and enabled the oxygen to get around his body and get to his brain. So he knew he felt incredible. So then when he came out of his triple bypass surgery, he's like, get me back on those products. And within 3 months, I left him to it. I didn't get involved in it all. He'd actually weaned himself off all those toxic products that they tell you you've got to be on the rest of your life. So within just 3 months, it was just so, I was so happy, so happy. And then going to the long-term benefits, my dad was over a couple of years ago and went out on our motorbikes and he crashed Paul's motorbike, crashed into a couple of wheelie bins. Thankfully, because if it wasn't the night before bin day, he'd have been straight into the trees and it would have been a different story. As it was, Paul was petrified ringing Yambos because he was going to have to tell me he thought that he killed my dad. Anyway, the reason I'm sharing this is because Dad had been activated on the dual synergizer for about 2 years at that point. And the very next morning, 8 o'clock, we had to be in Noosa for an appointment, and he was up and we were out. Now, anyone of any age, if you'd had a serious motorbike accident, you wouldn't have even been able to get out of bed, let alone be up and out and carry on the rest of your week. I got him on the collagen because he didn't have that. So I got him on collagen every day and made sure there was some sent back to the UK for as soon as he got home. But yeah, we carried on our day. So that was absolutely incredible. And what I didn't tell you is he was only just a couple of months off 80 years old at that point. So then also my dog, Rani, who's here, keeps scratching at the door because she wants to go out. She got attacked by a couple of dogs and it was really scary. She couldn't walk on her back leg. I thought they'd broken it. There was lots of puncture wounds. And the emergency vets were really concerned about muscle tissue wastage. They say that because of the pressure behind those bites, that the tissue dies off. So that was Thursday night, 5 o'clock. I took her to my own vet on the Friday for another check over. Saturday morning, she was jumping up and down beside me at the bench like she always does for her food. No problems at all. So not only did that not die off, she just healed so fast from that attack and the stress and everything. So that was incredible. And then I have one little bit that I'm not sure if I've even told Rhonda, but I've just recently had more blood tests done, and I was told by the doctor that I had to reduce my natural thyroid medication. I take thyroid extract, and I've had to drop it down from 90 micrograms a day to just 70. And so that really is like, I have a partially killed off thyroid. So that really is an exciting after about 4 years on the products. So I just wanted to sort of say at the end, like, we really do need to take this into our own hands. The regeneration capabilities of our bodies are incredible, but we need to get onto it ourselves, because as people keep saying at the moment, no one is coming to save us. We really need to do it. So thanks, Rhonda. Back to you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Tina. And I just think that's so powerful. Like, we do have a diverse range of health professionals using these products. We have cardiologists. If you want to see those videos, let us know. We have vets. My fur baby, I'm not sure if you can see him in the background. I have him on the NRF2 as well. So animals, there's no placebo. It's either going to work or it's not. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Tina. I appreciate your time. Okay, so we're going to jump in real quick now. So we've already touched on the protein of NRF2. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the Axio and the probiotics. So especially with the probiotic, because we're talking about gut health, etc. I sell probably 20 to 30 different types of probiotics in clinic, because I do microbiome and probiotic therapy. And what I love about this one is that it is a delayed release technology. The capsule takes about an hour to dissolve, which means that 60% of the beneficial bacteria survives and gets to where it needs to go. So it supports that assimilation of nutrients, and it has 6 strains of beautiful beneficial bacteria. Remembering I said we have millions of different species, and this one has 6, right? So it survives the stomach acids, it gets through to the digestive tract, and it starts to bed and seed, because nothing's going to grow when you're, for example, leaky gut, it's inflamed. It's almost like you've got dirt that you're trying to grow food in. All of these products are going to take you from dirt to soil, nutrient dense, beautiful, beautiful soil. So that's the probiotic. And then we have the Axio. So we take the Axio to make neurotransmitters, energy, brain food for, it's a powder, you put it in water. I had some earlier. It gives you mental clarity, supports positive mood. It helps to reduce cortisol, because the asparagus extract in there, it's got some beautiful B vitamins. And I notice this within minutes. We have children taking this as well. And we have a beautiful brain stack with the NRF2 and the Axio. Absolutely brilliant. So if you want even better results, then yeah, you would obviously tack in a couple of others. And Sue's going to share a little bit about her story soon as well. But for me, I add this into my smoothie in the morning, and at night I take the decaf one, which is the red raspberry. Put that in a bit of yogurt at night, and I absolutely love it. It helps me to sleep, and I wake up bright as a button the next day. I'm not going to go through all this. There is a video from a doctor who was doing neurofeedback, and it is showing before the NRF1, NRF2, and Axio. You can see here in regards to distracted, struggles with focus, concentration, executive functioning, organizational skills, and 12 days later, it's normal. It's green. It's like day and night. This is exactly the same. Yep. 12 days before, you can see here all the red and the blue. It's not good. It's like you've got circus going on in the brain. You can't focus on one thing. You're very easily distracted. 12 days later, normal range. This is changes on a cellular level for the brain. It's that synergistic effect. It's functioning. It's cognitive. It's absolutely amazing. So if you want to watch that video, just let us know and we can flick that through to you. Sue, hopefully you're on, darling. If you can just unmute yourself. Sue is actually traveling around with her husband in a caravan, and she's got an amazing story to share.
Everyone, how are you? Hope you're all good and giving up your Sunday. Yes, I literally just parked the van and I had 15 minutes to get Starlink set up, and I've left my poor husband to set the rest of the stuff up this afternoon. I'm usually out there helping him. So yeah, thanks for coming on and giving up your Sunday to listen to our stories and to listen to some wonderful information that's been presented by Rhonda and Madeline. And Tina, your story was amazing too. Really loved that. So for those who don't know me, I'm a personal trainer, but no longer training people. I am now a scheduler while I'm traveling around the country. Now, scheduling is a very high stress job. It's with the NDIS and aged care industry. So you've got to think a lot very, very quickly because you are schedulable. I have 300 odd staff that I'm rostering people around the east coast of Australia. So, Rhonda, where you showed the NRF1, NRF2, and the Axio and the brain, well, the left-hand side was what my brain was like, and I could not function, focus properly. And then after you introducing this system to me 6 months ago, within a week, my brain was functioning that well that my boss and my supervisors were asking me, what was I doing? What had I changed? Because I was making silly mistakes before, but now I don't do that anymore. I'm thinking so fast. I'm actually the fastest phone answerer as well. So not only answering the phone, but also maneuvering the rosters around and just catching on to, oh, where's this area? Because we do the entire East Coast. So my brain is functioning the way it should. But just to go back a little bit further, in 2015 was when I decided to become a personal trainer because I'd been made redundant 3 times in a corporate world and decided to do that. When I became a personal trainer, about a year later, I bought a gym and started training older women and school age or high school age teenagers. And so I had this diverse range of people I was training, and I was also training myself to do 2 bodybuilding comps. I had a goal to get them done before I was 50. So I was in my late 40s when I decided to do all of that. And as you can imagine, running a gym, you're doing all of the plans for people. You're training yourself. Your gym's opening early hours in the morning. You're running it till late in the evening. It's just a huge day. So all of that took its toll on me, and I was completely burnt out by the end of it. We made a move to Ballina, selling up the gym. My husband took redundancy from his job, and we moved to Ballina in 2018. That's where I met Rhonda on the beach and with our dogs. And didn't do anything. We just talked, but I hooked up with Rhonda, and over the years had seen a few things. And it wasn't until January this year that I saw the little yellow pill popping up on my Facebook feed. It wasn't Rhonda, it was someone else, but that's lovely. Someone else put me back in touch with Rhonda, and pretty much the rest is history, because now I've been able to wean myself off medication for Hashimoto's, which is what I was diagnosed with a couple of years ago. I don't take anti-inflammatories anymore. And where is my lovely bottle? This has been my godsend I had a knee replacement and a lot of pain post-knee replacement. Don't have pain anymore. Broke my leg. This is before discovering LifeVantage. And the healing was quite painful. And it was only, I would say, in the last 2 months, I don't have the pain where the break was in my opposite leg. Menopause symptoms have gone now as well. I don't get the hot flushes and all the craziness that comes with menopause. And I even tried, like I was putting on weight, of course, with menopause, and tried the skinny jab. That made me sick. And thank goodness, LifeVantage introduced the mind body system, which I've been taking, and I have lost weight. It's very slowly dropping off. The centimeters are coming down, but you know, it is working. It's slowly working. But that's my story.
Yeah, that's remarkable. And honestly, how many other people are just constantly putting themselves last and, on the back burner, we burn ourselves out. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing, Sue. And
thank you.
I'm going to just flick on through to the collagen and stuff now, just I'm conscious of the time. So, and I'm also just very mindful that, we do not claim to heal, diagnose, treat, cure, mitigate any disease or condition. But when you're helping your body work as nature intended, amazing things happen. So we're going to flick through with the liquid collagen. You've already heard about the protein amino 2. So the liquid collagen, we actually start to lose our collagen in our mid-20s. Once you've hit 50, you've lost about 50% of your collagen, yeah? And we need collagen. It's way more than just hair, skin, and nails. Most people just think it's a beauty product, but it's not. We need it for our muscle recovery, our joints, our gut, like I was talking about with the mucosal layer. Our bones are 40% collagen. Our eyes are 90% collagen. We need it for liver detoxification, our mood, our brain health, sexual support. So there's just so many benefits to it. And obviously, you can track and measure the appearance and the differences that you can visually see with collagen. Like you can see here with the stretch marks up the top right-hand side there. Over here, Betty in the middle on the left-hand side. You can see just within 5 months, it looked like a totally different woman. The lady here in the middle up the top, it looks like, mother and daughter. But we're talking about cellulite. We're talking about cellular skin repair. There's just so many other things, but also everyday function, right? This is a lady with significant muscle and joint discomfort, but in her hand. She could not flatten her hands. She was struggling to use her hands. This is just after 36 days. So the real point of difference with our liquid collagen is that it's not just a supplement. Yes, it's going to replenish the collagen that you've lost because you're supplementing and you're going to absorb it, but it activates, it helps you make your own collagen again. And it's also going to maintain the collagen that you have remaining, meaning you're not going to lose any more. So there's 10 different types of collagen peptide. We don't have the time to go through it all here today, but if you want more information, reach out because, we're talking about central nervous system, cognitive, cardiovascular. There's just so many benefits to it. And like you can see, there are many different types of collagen on the market, but we are the only collagen on the market that I'm aware of that activates collagen. It replenishes, it maintains, it's marine liquid collagen, it's hydrolyzed, no chemicals, it's all naturally processed, 5,000 milligrams, it's ready to drink. Like Sue held up before, it's a little bottle. I swallow my Protandim, my yellow tablet, with my liquid collagen every single day, and I'll touch on why I do that. It activates your superoxide dismutase, your internal antioxidant system, the little blue Pac-Man that neutralizes your free radicals. It is so powerful. And like I was saying, 10 different types of collagen strains, okay? So there are so many benefits of taking these two products together. I will never go a day without taking this. And for those who want to get really digging into the science, you want to see the studies, let us know. We've got a video. We can flip through to you listing all of this. But all those science buff, all the science geeks like me, you want to learn about this. Remember how I was talking about the interleukins, your inflammatory markers, your immune. This is all related. We're reducing this by 97%, 88%. These are incredible markers. And again, here, when it's overreactive, autoimmune, chronic fatigue, brain fog, neurodevelopmental, hormone, all these things that I'm passionate about, we're helping with all of this. So what else can we activate? So we're going to be talking about activating things that are going to help with our hormones and our weight loss. So Madeline, I'm going to hand over to you again, please, darling.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. It is so exciting to present the GLP-1 because even Sue mentioned the skinny jabs. How many people are taking the injectables, and a lot of them have amazing results at the start, and then they hit a plateau, or they just have a lot of side effects. They lose a lot of muscle mass. A lot of them feel nauseous. But what we can say with our GLP-1 activator, and by the way, it stands for glucagon-like peptide, is we are helping your gut to make its own GLP-1. So the GLP-1 is actually made in the gut, in the L cells. And the purpose of the GLP-1 is once you swallow the food and it goes into your stomach, there needs to be a message to go to the L cells to say you need to secrete the GLP-1. That is going to slow down the food through your stomach, through your digestive tract. At the same time, it's going to send a message to your brain to say, you've had enough, you can stop eating. And then that is going to feed back to your gut and your intestinal system. However, with poor diet, with the absolute garbage that we have in our food nowadays, and all the artificial ingredients, that usually messes up people's gut. And Rhonda extensively explained about gut health and how important that is. So it is so amazing to know that we've got something natural that can reset that whole process. Now, I'm not going to go through all of that in depth, but basically, GLP-1 is not only in your gut, it's not only in your brain. You've got GLP-1 receptors in your heart, in your pancreas, very relevant in terms of regulating your blood sugar. People who have issues with GLP-1 are going to have the blood sugar roller coaster, and all of that is going to contribute towards having less energy, not sleeping really well. And I think a lot of people don't even know that that's the cause. So for me personally, when I started on the GLP-1 activator, immediately my blood sugar spikes. It was more regulated. I slept better energy, less brain fog. So all of that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Rhonda. So the mind-body system, we've done a 12-week clinical study. And in that study, it was proven that the GLP-1 hormone is increased by 220%. That is absolutely incredible. And then also during the period of that study, all the people that were previously pre-diabetic, after the 12 weeks, no longer fit the criteria. That is absolutely incredible. So it shows you that it works on the inside as well. Now, here's some before and afters. I'm quickly going to flick through those. This is Tyler Daniels from the US. He lost 11 kilos in 12 weeks. From the outside, you can see a visible difference. But what about his cellular health and what's happening on the inside? That happened too for him. Kim lost 6.8 kilos in 7 weeks. She's also in the US. 10 centimeters off her waist. And this is our beautiful Rhonda. You can see there's a difference between before and after. 8 weeks later, she was down 6 kilos in that picture. Also a lot of systemic benefits. And this is a husband and wife from the US. Lady on the left hand side, she said, I will not stop shouting this from the rooftops because I've never felt this better. And she actually works in the wellness space, so she didn't start on zero. She started on a fairly good base, and her husband lost 50 pounds in 4 months without going to the gym or using the shots or doing a special diet, jumping through all of the hoops. Now, we do recommend that you are mindful about your lifestyle when you use the GLP-1 activator, but this is just to show, and also that study that I've previously shown with the 12 weeks, 220%, and all of those people that were pre-diabetic no longer fit the criteria, that was all without the lifestyle factors. Here's more of the results. So first of all, 220% increase in average GLP-1, 88% of the subjects improved their A1C by a half a unit, 122% increase in GIP. That has everything to do with metabolic health, 74% increase in pancreatic polypeptides, and 5% increase in leptin. So that's going to help you feel fuller for longer. And then 8.6% in decrease in body fat. Of that decrease in body fat, 8.1% is subcutaneous fat. That's the fat under your skin. But then even more importantly, 18.8% reduction in visceral fat. That's the fat around your organs. That's the really dangerous fat. And then, like I said, a lot of people on the injectables lose muscle mass. We not only retain muscle mass, but with this study, it actually showed that there was a 7.2% increase in skeletal muscle, and on average 6.4 kilo reduction in regards to weight loss. Yes, more before and afters. And then we also have the non-scale victory. So that has everything to do with feeling better, better sleep. You can imagine if your blood sugar regulation is a lot better, you're not all over the show during the day, you're going to have sustained brain function. So it's going to translate into work productivity. So I'm really excited about all of those benefits. And then the last slide, in terms of optimizing your journey, there's a particular way that you can take your products. So you take first the capsules and then the powder. Please go back to your the person that invited you, because they can step you through how you can take it to really get optimal results out of it, and how you can incorporate lifestyle factors to really optimize the journey for you. Thank you so much, Rhonda. Back to you.
Thank you, Madeline. I really appreciate that. So, and for those who aren't in our Facebook groups, I do recommend you jump into those, because that's just a small snippet of the testimonials, of the studies. All the information that you want, you will find in there. So now is the time to get loud about activation. So if, like I was saying before, if you're anything like us and you're thinking of all the other people that are going to benefit from this, then take note. So there's a couple of ways to get started. If you're wondering, well, how do I get started? You can get started as a customer. You can be ordering it with 10% discount, or you can join and get an affiliate link. Like we have affiliate links, and we get 20% off our discount, and we have a link that we can share with our family, our friends, our people that we're in clinic with, or whoever, and they then get a 10% discount. So this is the way that we can get started. So what you'll see is the platinum pack. Well, it's not called a platinum pack, but that's the platinum option that I refer to. And that's everything that we've discussed here today. Plus you also get a free hand cream. So, and then the next step down is the gold, silver, and then the bronze. So the bronze is really pretty much the basic level if you're really wanting to get on top of your balancing blood sugar and energy and mood and gut health and all those types of things. This will help to prime your body to accelerate your results while you're waiting to get started on the Mind Body GLP-1 system. So for new affiliates, you will get that extra 10% off. So there's a couple of different enrollment packs that you can select from. There's going to be a few different ways. A lot of people come in on the executive builder pack, because that's going to sample everything. Then pretty much the other option is the Mind Body GLP-1 multiplier pack. That's where you're getting 3 of these each. And then also the Healthy Balance Pro pack. This is really the most popular pack, because that's sampling everything that we've discussed here today. This is gold if you really wanting to get on top of everything we've discussed today. And as an affiliate, you come on board, you get that link. This is potentially how you're going to get your products for free, right? So if you, for example, have 10 people, and this is just collagen alone, that's not even talking about the other products, right? But if you've got 10 people ordering collagen through you every month, you're earning $407 Australian dollars every month. Within your first 3 months, you'll earn an extra $210. If you've got 30 people, that's $1,400 you're earning every month just from customer sales, right? And then within the first 3 months, you'll get an extra $700. Yeah. For 500 people, you're earning $27,000 a month. This is significant life-changing money. So that might be for you, it might not. But the way I look at it, you've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And if you're wanting to get around the people who are actually seeing significant results, get back to them, okay? We can reach out. You can reach out and have a chat to us a little bit more in depth if that's what you're wanting to do. More than happy to do that. But I aligned myself with LifeVantage because I cannot get the same results using food or supplementation. The Scientific Advisory Board is second to none. You can see they are a wealth of knowledge, all diverse backgrounds. So yeah, all I can say is reach out. If you've got any questions, we can help to go over those questions before you get started. We just get you in where you fit in, whatever works best for you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. For those who want to hang back for the Q&A, please stick around. But yeah, thank you so much. I really value your time here today. And again, just a reminder, go back to who shared this with you and we can help you get started. All right, take care.